Hi everyone, I'm 𝐲𝐶 from 𝐫𝐴. In my previous videos, I've shared that it's becoming increasingly difficult for many HDB owners to upgrade. Now look at this. Over the last 20 years, the gap between HDB and private property has widened. In the past, upgrading was easier. Today, waiting has a cost, not because prices explode, but because the entry becomes harder. And one of the biggest concerns right now is, can current new launch prices, especially in the OCR, sustain? And that's a very fair question. But today, I want to shift your focus slightly, because before we talk about prices, we need to understand something more immediate. That's right, it's interest rates. Let's take a look at this. Over the past 10 years, interest rates didn't just move randomly. They moved in response to real global events. Around 2016 to 2018, rates were rising steadily. Why? Because the global economy was recovering after the global financial crisis and central banks were normalizing policy. Then in 2020, something major happened. The COVID-19 pandemic hit the world. Economies slowed down drastically and interest rates were cut to almost zero to support growth. After that, in 2022 to 2023, we saw one of the faster rate increases in history. Why? Because inflation surged globally and central banks had to react aggressively, and today we are entering a phase where rates are stabilizing and gradually easing. So when you look at this whole movement, you start to realize something. Interest rates don't move based on opinion. They move based on macro events, which is why I always wanted to say this. Trying to predict where interest rates will go next is actually not the most useful approach, because these movements are driven by global conditions that no individual can control. Instead of speculating, a better way to think about it is this. Every interest rate cycle is temporary. Low rates don't stay low forever. High rates don't stay high forever. They move in cycles. And if we look at the chart again, the low point in 2020 to 2021 didn't last. The spike in 2022 to 2023 also didn't last. And now, we are somewhere in between. So what does this mean for you as a buyer? It means this. If you are able to enter the market and lock in a relatively low interest rates for the next 2 to 3 years, you are not trying to predict the cycle. You are simply positioning yourself within it. And during that period, you gain stability in your monthly payments and reduce uncertainty. And you give yourself time to ride through any short-term volatility. Because today, upgrading is harder. And a big part of that difficulty comes from financing. So when rates ease even slightly, it directly improves affordability. At the same time, Singapore remains fundamentally strong. Even with global uncertainty, it continues to be seen as a safe haven, which means demand doesn't disappear, it becomes more selective. Of course, there are always risks, things we cannot predict, but Singapore has consistently shown that it can adapt and respond early when challenges arise. So instead of asking, will interest rate go up or down? A better question today is, am I in a position to enter safely and take advantage of where we are in the cycle? Because in today's market, property doesn't reward participation, it rewards precision. In the next video, I will take this logic one step further. Based on the conditions currently unfolding globally, where are interest rates likely to head next? And I'm 𝐲𝐶 from 𝐫𝐴. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!